Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We have a lot of exciting sessions about sales and e-commerce, digital marketing, and many, many more. Make sure to download the VFairs app on your mobile phones for a smoother watching experience. We know you guys are excited for the session, but for now, chill for a few minutes and watch this video for reminders before we begin. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Wow, over 100 participants already. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to Nest Level session on quick commerce, the next generation of e-commerce. That's pretty interesting. I am JV from Nestle Philippines, and I will be your host for this session. Before we start, let me just share with you some house rules so that we have a smooth flowing session today. Make sure to check out our chat box so that you can catch important announcements and links on how you can engage with us using Slido. So keep those questions coming using Slido. We know you guys are all eager to participate and engage with our speaker, but please avoid flooding our chat box too much so you not miss any of those announcements. All right. And finally, always have your mobile phones on standby so you can scan the QR codes on the slides that you will see later. By then, you will have access to possible career opportunities in sales, marketing, and data analytics across the Nestle universe. And who knows, maybe by this time next year or in the near future, you are one of us, a force for good, or maybe one of our speakers in the future, right? We'll see. So let's begin. Our speaker for today is the Global Director of Category and Supplier Management at Delivery Hero Quick Commerce. He is highly experienced in developing and executing business strategies such as product development, innovation, and growth at Delivery Hero Quick Commerce. Everyone, please welcome our speaker for today, Christoph Gerlach. Christoph, hello.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning from Europe
Hello.
and good afternoon to all APEC participants. Really glad to be here. Very much looking forward to tell you more about Quick Commerce, Delivery Hero, all our brands and what we do, and of course, our great partnership with Nestle. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us today, Christoph. I'm really excited to hear about Delivery Hero and its exciting new business model of quick commerce. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Great. Very much looking forward to this presentation and tell you more about these topics. And thanks again for the opportunity to speak here. So let's really just, dive into it, give it a quick start. And the first question really is, very much to our headline, what is quick commerce? What do you think it is? Maybe you've used it already. Maybe you have been in touch with especially our brand in APEC, Foodpanda, which I think many of you know. And we offer restaurants services, but as well quick commerce. And for those who have used it, of course, you know what it is all about. But everyone else, what do you think quick commerce really means? So there is a Slido here. You can
I
use
think
it.
the participants are still signing in. Oh, there you go. They're responding already.
Great. Thanks for sharing your ideas, your thoughts. Very much looking forward to see what you think is behind the term. Great. Thanks a lot. Many great answers. Lots of good terms. Lots of thoughts and ideas from your side. I think we have a clear tendency. What are the most important terms? And I think you are pretty spot on. Fast, instant. I think these are convenient. Those are the most important terms I see here. And I think they really describe it well. It's, as the known quick commerce in itself even already says, it's about speed. It's about speed of delivery. I'll tell you much more about it throughout the presentation and in more detail. But yes, you're right. It's really about bringing e-commerce to the next level. It's a new generation of e-commerce that is not anymore about, next day or maximum same day delivery, but it's instant. It's now 15, 20 minutes. That is what we often strive for in our markets. And I think it brings a totally new shopping experience. Great, thank you so much for all these answers. Then let's go back to the presentation. To that in a second. Okay, great, good. And I'll continue with the presentation and tell you much more about what quick commerce is, how we do it, what it means for you as customers and hopefully future colleagues. And as well, let's start with us, Delivery Hero, the company that's behind all of this and that I'm working for and representing. So Delivery Hero is really a global player. It's originally from Berlin, from Germany. That's where it's been founded, but it's now a global company present in 74 countries after many rounds of mergers, especially with existing companies around the world and many brands that kind of came to our footprint. And in fact, we are the largest global leader in food delivery and in quick commerce now as well. We are the #1 in EMEA, in Asia, in quick commerce as well, this new type of business that I'm talking about and representing, and as well in South and Central America, excluding Brazil. You see here 2 brands, Delivery Hero and Glovo. Glovo has joined our ranks very recently. It's a huge player in originally from Spain, in Europe, especially Southeast Europe and partly Africa. And we have merged recently, so both brands belong together now. And you might not have necessarily heard about Delivery Hero before because, that's the mother company, but in no market we actually operate under the brand Delivery Hero. But you will certainly, very likely have heard about all our customer-facing brands around the globe. We have 14 of these by now. Foodpanda in Asia is a very successful and very well-known one that you likely have come across already. There is other brands in Europe, in the Americas, especially Pedidos Ya, our biggest brand there, in MENA and Turkey, Talabat in the more Gulf region, Central Middle East, Yemek in Turkey, Hunger Station in Saudi Arabia, InstaShop is another daughter of ours in the Middle East. Africa, with the merger of Glovo, just recently came into our footprint. We haven't been active there yet, but Africa is a very exciting future opportunity with a very strongly growing economy and population. So absolutely a future market that we are very excited about. And South Korea, Woowa, the biggest player there, is part of our group as well. So really a worldwide footprint with many brands in 74 countries. We are the market leaders in 90% of those. So I said already, the company originally from Berlin, from Germany. Actually, our founder, Niklas, is Swedish. That's where he started, the idea of delivering food online a couple of years before the actual launch of Delivery Hero. And similar maybe to e-commerce, even Amazon is only 25 years old. And so our company is only 11. And we've achieved a lot in these 11 years. And by now, I guess food delivery, ordering online, getting it delivered really quickly to your doorstep is becoming a household name, and is just part of your daily life, and it seems simple, but it's not that old, right? It's quite a new development, and still growing very quickly, of course. But yeah, the periods over where this has been available is actually not that long. Our company went public in 2017, and we entered the DAX, so the stock index of the largest German traded companies 3 years later in 2020. Up to that point, almost all of our business was restaurants oriented, so delivering prepared dishes from restaurants, which is still our largest business model on our brands. But then we launched eMarts as well, quick commerce, which is the business that I'm going to talk about. And we have by now launched more than 1,000 eMarts, so small, neighborhood depots that actually deliver the goods. So what exactly are those 3 main pillars of our business and business models under our brands? The first one, we call it platform, is the restaurants business. So delivering prepared dishes from restaurants. So we operate like a marketplace. It's the restaurants that you love and know around the corner, your Italian pizzeria or your noodle restaurant, and you order the food via our app, the Foodpanda app, for example, and we organize the delivery. Therefore, own delivery is really our second large business pillar, because the name Delivery Hero already says so, right? That's really at our DNA. That's what we can do best, which is really successfully and very continuously, flawlessly, hopefully as well, deliver to your doorstep. And the newest addition, as I've said, almost 2 years ago now, is quick commerce, which basically is a supermarket offering. So you don't order prepared dishes from a restaurant or food, you order a supermarket assortment. We are striving up to 5,000, 6,000 SKUs per store. That's a pretty decent assortment that you would get in a well-assorted supermarket as well. But you don't have to leave your house. You get it delivered to your doorstep in 15 to 20 minutes. So super convenient and yeah, a great service for our customers. And I said, delivery is part of the DNA, but the second one is certainly technology, right? All of this wouldn't work without very, very strong technological architecture or the products and background that makes sure, everything flows seamlessly from your order to delivery throughout the entire process chain, so to say. So I've said we are the largest player in restaurants and quick commerce around the world. Here are some numbers, just to give you a bit of a background on Delivery Hero as a company, what we do and how big we are. GMV, that's gross merchandise value. So that's basically the revenue we enable. The restaurants actually deliver the food. So we are their partner, but they are the ones earning the revenue. But the GMV actually encompasses all of that, right? That is the revenue that we enable, and that's 35 billion at the end of 2021. And that grew quite significantly that year, especially during the COVID period. That's 3 billion orders a year. So you can calculate yourself how many that is a day. It's a lot. And that is only possible because we have 1.4 million riders across the globe that help us, excite and our customers every day and fulfill this great service. They are really the backbone of the company, and nothing of this would be possible without them. And you've certainly already seen them, cycling the streets or on a moped, always on the move to make sure you get your food or your delivery very quickly. Active now in 74 countries, I said, right, with a global footprint included. 1.3 million partners online. That means mostly the restaurants, but on the quick commerce side, we have a marketplace model as well, where we enable existing players like kiosks up to large supermarkets. So hundreds of thousands of business owners around the world. Most of these, very small, medium-sized businesses profit from our partnership, and we give them great service and great revenue opportunity. Together, we address 2.2 billion people now around the world. So that's really quite a whooping number. That's the addressable market, of course, but it shows, the potential this business has. So to give you some background on the results and how the development, I said, the company is just 11 years old. So it's a very, very steep increase and growth over the last couple of years. And COVID has played a role. It was very fast growing already before, but of course, during the pandemic, people relied even more so on services that made it easier for them to shop or to get their food delivered, and where they didn't have to leave the house. So we saw an even steeper increase of the growth during 2020 and 2021. And that is true for GMV and orders alike. And of course, we have very high ambitions. We want to grow even further throughout the next couple of years until 2030. That's where our current strategy is leading us in terms of our ambitions. We want to grow to 200 to 350 billion GMV. We are now at 35, so up to 10-fold. We want to be the number one or keep being the number one or get the number one. We aren't where we aren't yet. In all our markets, and might be more markets in the future. We will likely expand to more markets. We can only do that, through constant innovation. As I said, it's logistics, operational excellence, but it's really technology as well. And that means, large teams of engineers and product managers as well that build great products throughout the company and innovate every day to make sure we can scale this business. And we want to become profitable at a very healthy margin quite soon. As many delivery companies, that it's a business that is inherently difficult to operate profitably. Delivering is a costly undertaking, but we are on a very good path to become profitable as a whole group throughout 2023. So very proud of that achievement as well. So to the most important question of the day, and you've gave great answers in the beginning. How exactly does quick commerce work? What does it really mean in detail? As I've said, it's about ordering your supermarket assortment from our app and get it delivered super quickly. That's your, in a nutshell, what this is about. And 6,000 SKUs means you can really order all your daily household or daily necessities, your bread, dairy, vegetables, meat, poultry, but as well, everything else, drugstore items, personal care, and many other categories where you have not necessarily daily, but more regular, like weekly top up situation. I guess don't buy detergent daily, but on a weekly basis. But we offer it all, and getting all of this delivered to your doorstep in 50 minutes just means, for the sake of convenience, there's actually no point anymore going to the supermarket, which might easily take you an hour or longer, right? Just going there, finding everything you need, packing it, bringing it back to your house, carrying it potentially yourself, or going there by car. So quick commerce really addresses all of these needs and is a great convenience service. We see it as a third generation of e-commerce. First generation commerce is just traditional brick and mortar stores, as I've just explained. We have to go yourself and get goods from the shelf. E-commerce already changed that for many categories. Buying electronics 20 years ago, it was exactly the same. You went to a large electronics market, maybe somewhere outside of the city, and did classic shopping. I think nowadays it's pretty normal reality, at least for people of our age, right, and generation, to buy these things online. It became such a everyday habit that it sometimes even already feels strange almost, to have to go to a shop for certain things. And we think this could potentially be the same for supermarket assortments in the future. I think nowadays still it's likely everywhere, that buying your daily groceries is still a physical shopping experience, but that could really change with quick commerce because the speed makes a difference. I think from my personal experience, at least, waiting a day or two for electronics might be acceptable, but you want to have your milk and your bread, of course, right now, and don't wait for it. And quick commerce really addresses this. And the difference is mostly in the logistics behind it, because e-commerce, traditional e-commerce like Amazon, for example, does it. It's big warehouses outside of the city. So no matter how much they innovate and scale on operations, just the distance is too far to make it really much faster than maybe same day. But quick commerce typically, and our quick commerce, which we call D-marts, relies on small depots, small warehouses in your neighborhood. So it's like, the kiosk at the corner, but we use it for delivering rather than you have to go there and pick stuff up yourself. And that means is the reason why we can deliver so quickly. It addresses often single person households, in dense areas. It's typically oriented for central parts of the cities. But we are continuously expanding and addressing, more suburban areas as well. So families as well, of course, very much belong to our customer base. And as said, you can actually satisfy all your needs. Under quick commerce now, there are two, different business models again, or two different ways of how you can do it. We call it D-marts and shops. D-marts are those little stores I talked about in the neighborhood from where we deliver, the small depots. And here we are a retailer, really, like many other large supermarkets as well. We buy the goods from a supplier, store them, and then deliver them to you. And we have more than 1,000 of those now worldwide, 1,125 to be exact, in 45 countries, and that selection of 6,000 SKUs. That's kind of the core of our business. and here we control everything, right? Including the assortment, the pricing, the advertisement. It's a lot of digital advertisement going on there as well. To really show the breadth of the products, and delivery time is around 20 minutes. The shops business is like a marketplace business, somewhat comparably to the restaurants business, right? We partner with existing businesses, supermarkets in that instance, in that example here, and we enable them basically to be part of quick commerce as well. So you can buy from your beloved supermarket that you've always been shopping with for many years, and get your products of that supermarket through us, through the Foodpanda app, for example. And you therefore get the full assortment, because it's the normal physical supermarket that we actually pick the items from, and it can be up to 40, 50,000 depending on how large the supermarket is. But that enables many more businesses as well, flower shops, pharmacies, electronics, whatever it is. And that's exactly why I think it's the new generation of e-commerce, because even those things that you typically maybe buy from a platform right now that brings next day delivery, this enables super fast, ultra fast delivery for these categories as well. It can take a little bit longer, for the same reasons of just distance and the operations, because if we deliver from a larger supermarket, it might be a little bit far away from you. It just simply takes longer to get to you. However, it's typically under an hour still, and therefore much, much faster than any normal e-commerce that you are used to so far. Therefore, we think it has a tremendous potential, right? That little square down here is our current GMV, the business through quick commerce, roughly 1 billion at the end of last year. We think it has tremendous growth potential just because it can actually address all categories, your daily needs, and the convenience is just great. If you've tried it or you haven't tried it, please, it would be great if you give it a try and let us know how it works and if you like it. I think it really can make a big change in your life. You don't have to plan for the big shopping trip anymore at the weekend, or go somewhere late evening after work for an hour or so, but you just do it from your sofa at your fingertips and get it delivered. And that really is, we think, has the potential to address the whole market. And that's exactly why we are very excited about it and very willing to invest a lot into that business as well. We see the order growth over the last quarters. This is numbers from the end of 2020, sorry, to 21. And as you can see, it's growing, it's doubling, more than doubling on all accounts. And we are seeing the same thing happening this year again. And I think that kind of confirms our belief that this can really be the next big thing in the e-commerce industry for us as a company, and most importantly for our customers who get a really great service, great delivery experience at very, very high speed. It just is a very convenient experience that makes your life easier. How does it work? What does it look like on the app? If you open the Foodpanda app, for example, you would first have to choose if you want to go to restaurants, to quick commerce. So get a prepared meal from a restaurant, or your groceries, or any other needs for merchandise, basically. Then within quick commerce, you would have to select Dmarts or shops. Now the difference, right? Is it us? Is it Foodpanda in that instance, and our Panda Marts, as we call them in APAC, or is it any other shop that is working with us that you already know, where you want to have their maybe more specialized assortment? Then within Dmarts, for example, you choose a category. You can browse, you can search, of course, and it's very convenient. Once you've made a purchase once, you of course have a list of most frequently bought items. It's much easier. You have your shopping list in there. You can just repurchase what you've done before, and might be done within a few minutes, or even faster, within a minute maybe, from entering to the actual purchase. you pick the items, check out, pay, all of that's very convenient, as you know it from e-commerce, of course, with your credit card, and as said, it can be done within a minute. So a great experience. And then 15 minutes later, someone's ringing your doorbell and brings everything that you've ordered. On the background, so to say, especially on the Dmart side, where we operate the stores basically and own and control the operations, it's quite complex and quite an effort to keep the operation excellence high, to really make sure you get always everything you want. All the goods are stocked, you get them at the quality and speed that we promise you, and we work very hard every day in all our countries around the world to make that happen. So you shop from those roughly 5,000 to 6,000 SKUs, then our store receives your order. A picker basically, so to say, makes the shopping for you, goes to the shelves, picks the items, just much faster than you would likely be able to do it in a supermarket, because it's obviously very optimized for efficiency and speed. They pack the goods, hand it over to our riders who are waiting, and they deliver it to you. And in 15-20 minutes, you get it delivered to your doorstep. And that's the magic, so to say, happening in the background. But while you can relax on the sofa and lean back. I said, 74 countries for the company overall, with restaurants, 45 markets so far with quick commerce. We are, reaching the full presence in all our markets soon. We are expanding through the remaining ones as well. But our presence is, very strong in all our core markets already. All of Latin America with P2C, the whole Middle East, Southeast Asia, especially, under our brand Foodpanda, and Pakistan, and Hong Kong, Taiwan as well belong to the Foodpanda footprint. And then in Europe, it's a few brands across the continent. For example, Foodora in the Nordics is a very strong player there. And we are working very closely with all, large partners of the industry. Nestle being one of our strongest, if not the strongest, of our partners. We buy and sell on to you their products, their great products, that you all know from retail and from supermarkets. And I can say really, Nestle has been at the forefront from the start with quick commerce, has always been a very strong partner in all our markets, delivering all their great products, procuring us with all their great products, and especially a very strong interest and a very strong activity in making sure you get the products, at the right time and quality, but as well marketing the products right on the app. Digital advertisement plays a large role. Campaigns across social media that really make sure everyone knows about this great service, and you find the best deals. There's lots of deals, great offers on quick commerce together with our partners and Nestle. And they are really a great partner at digitally communicating there with in-app marketing campaigns and PR partnerships, cross-vertical promotions. So that's a really strong partnership. That is an example from Talabat in the Middle East, where we have rolled out our new ad tech solution that really allows much better and designed campaigns on across all our app, with banners and swim lanes, boost in ranking, boost in search words, all the classic, approaches in e-commerce marketing that And Nestle has been a launch partner here since the start. Been a very strong supporter, and just has a great experienced team to work together with us on this. Really, we're a pioneer in this, and we have already in that instance here in Talabat had 100 products across 7 campaigns that, as you can see on the right side, really performed greatly. CVR, that's the conversion rate, was tremendous. ROAS, return on ad spend, that's a marketing speech, is great as well. So shows as well how good the marketing performs and how the products actually perform, and customers really love Nestle products across all our platforms. The same is actually true for Foodpanda. That's an example from APAC, where we as well have rolled out this new ad tech platform. same story. Nestle work really, really closely with us on the integration and the launch, and has been a very strong and successful partner since the start. And we are, seeing a large increase in sales and performance, and are very much looking forward, to continue this collaboration throughout the next month. Great. So I hope I could give you a good overview of what quick commerce is, how the business works, who we are as Delivery Hero, and what we are doing, how the collaboration with Nestle works. And of course, we all, them and us, offer great opportunities, to work in the ad tech space, in retail, in operations. So a huge variety of super interesting roles, to support us on this amazing growth story. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christoph. Quick commerce. It's kind of mind-blowing thinking that about 5-6 years ago, this did not exist. You have to wait a day or sometimes pre-order to get what you want. And now you're right, someone will just knock on your door and your orders are there. So thank you for leveling up the buyer experience all over the world. I myself is a user of Foodpanda here in the Philippines, so I appreciate this presentation so much. So Christoph, are you ready to go to the Q&A section? We have quite a number of questions from our participants today. So let's go to the first one. What sets Delivery Hero or Foodpanda apart from other service providers like Grab?
Okay, great question. Yeah, of course, we aren't the only one doing this. There is many players in the market doing a similar service. I think one great feature or difference in many markets is the multi-verticality, to say it with a word from the industry. So we have restaurants, we have quick commerce, we have the marketplace all in one app, right? So you have a really amazing choice and a broad selection to get food, cooked food, or your supermarket groceries, and your purchases from another supermarket that you typically buy with, all in one app. And I think that's a big difference to many of our of the other players. And I think the speed of our delivery is typically very high and very consistent and reliable. I think our brands are already very strong, given that we've been in the restaurants area for many years. So we see lots of customers that have been very loyal customers with us for many years in the restaurant side, and are now trying out quick commerce, and I think that makes a big difference.
Indeed. Thank you, Christoph. Our next question from an anonymous sender. How has consumer behavior, UX and UI design, I think this is UX and UI design, shaped the success of Delivery Hero? Are your insights drawn from these, or are they purely AI driven or a blend?
Great question. Yeah. Customer experience, making sure you get the great customer experience, but learning from the customer reactions, learning from the customer feedback is, at the very, very heart of our company and the product development. We have every product release we do, it's all, very strongly analyzed with A/B tests, for example, that we run to see exactly, do customers like what we want to improve in our app? Do they see the value in the improvements that we want to launch? So it's always, in that sense, ultimately the customer that decides if something goes live or not. So AI technology plays a big role, but ultimately the customers decide if something works or doesn't, and therefore it's always the customer performance and the customer reaction that makes the difference.
True. At the end of the day, it's still the customer.
Exactly.
Third question. If we did not go through the COVID pandemic, do you think e-commerce will rise as fast as it did?
I mean, e-commerce, especially, in that sense, in the broader sense of e-commerce, what you've seen over the last 20 years already, already in 2020, when COVID came, it was huge, right? And was strongly growing. So it is not, the pandemic might have, expedited or accelerated a few things, but the trend is clear. Customers love the initial convenience. They love the huge digital assortment they can find. And that won't go away anymore. And that will only be stronger and faster and a broader footprint in the future. And the same is true for quick commerce, right? We have launched it already before the pandemic and saw very, very strong customer demand and great reactions, positive reactions to it. And yes, the pandemic has somewhat accelerated it, but I think now, even that the pandemic is gone, we are not going back to where we were before. We have reached a new level, right? And customers are really continuing to shop from e-commerce and quick commerce alike, just because it's so convenient. I think it's a great customer experience. That was ultimately always matters. The customers need to be convinced every day that this is better than what they used to do, to change their habits. And I think this is what quick commerce offers. And as I said, COVID has maybe accelerated the transition, but the ultimate underlying reason for people is really the convenience, and that is what prevails in the long run.
Yeah, it's bound to happen even without the pandemic. Before I go to the next question, I just want to address that we are now above 400 participants. Hello, everyone, the 400 participants out there. Thank you for joining us. So the next question is, how do you adjust your services based on local, regional context? How different is your services in Asia, Africa, Europe, and Americas?
Great question. You are spot on. It needs to be different. Absolutely. As much as, starting, we are a retailer, right? At the end of the day, in core, it works like a supermarket. So as much as you would see different products in a supermarket in Singapore compared to Dubai, for example, of course, because people have different culture, different tastes when it comes to food and groceries, we need to represent that, right? So our assortment is very localized. We have great teams in every market, come from the market, of course, who are very experienced retail experts who know exactly what the local demand is, what people love to buy, find, and eat. And that is for the assortment part. But then as well, when it comes to things like what the app, the platform is designed like, there is differences, of course, because people in different parts of the world are used to different standards, if you might say so, or to different experiences, and we always cater to this. Again, to the same point as before, right? It's all about the customer, right? I mean, we build a service that is really meant to be a great customer experience, and we can only do that if we really strongly listen to the customer, know exactly what they like, and build a product for them.
Well said. Thank you, Christoph. And we now go to our last question. Sorry, guys, we have limited time today. So this is our last question for Christoph. One of the challenges of quick commerce are the cost of picking and delivery. Do you invest in supply chain automation and digitalization to reduce costs?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. We do. Technically speaking, it's not that easy. Even in classic e-commerce, if you want to call it so, in much larger warehouses, outside of the city, and where time pressure is not that high, it's very hard to use like robotics, for example, given that it's not as standardized, right? Products always look different. But everyone's working on this, and so do we, right? I mean, the picking part that I was now referring to, that is really hard to automate for now with the existing technology. However, what is increasingly a trend in the industry, and where there's investment and really great innovation, is the delivery part. So there is already trials across the world. We have done that in APAC. Many others are trying this as well. With delivery robots, if you want, so small autonomous vehicles that deliver the goods to your doorstep, and that might actually become something more ubiquitous in the next years to come. So I think there's a lot of innovation there, and I think that could really give a greater experience even. And I think it's just very cool to see how things are moving, and that it's really science fiction in a way, right? 10 years ago, you wouldn't have believed it, but I think it's a matter of years now only that we will see this on the streets.
I hope it happens in the near future. That would be really cool. A robot delivering your orders or something like that. So that's basically it, everyone. So Christoph, would you like to give some final message to our participants today before we close?
Yeah, of course. Thanks a lot for the opportunity again to speak here. It was really a great pleasure to, talk to you, talk more about Delivery Hero, quick commerce, and our great partnership with Nestle. And really just want to say, try it out. It's really a great service. It's really a cool experience. You find all your beloved Nestle products there, and get them very conveniently delivered. And when it comes to career opportunities, Nestle and us, all of us, growing rapidly, especially in the digital space. Try it out. You see the QR codes up here. I think there is, this is really, I feel the future of the groceries industry, especially, and there is so much to do and so much to learn. So very much looking forward to hopefully work with some of you in the future.
Yes, of course, there is unlimited opportunities for both Delivery Hero and Nestle. So thank you so much again, Christoph, for the insightful session that you've delivered today. And a huge thank you to everyone who joined us. Over 400 participants. Thank you so much for that. We hope you enjoyed the session and was inspired by what you heard from Christoph. Guys, digital acceleration really is the future. There are limitless opportunities for it. And we hope you enjoyed the session today. Don't forget to catch the next session by Zumi, Mosima, and Chisido as they talk about the road to developing our first-party data growth engine to learn how Nestle's journey to build our own data growth engine. So click on the link on the chat to go directly to the next session, or you can also go back to the VFairs agenda page to join from there. If you missed any of the sessions today or yesterday, don't worry because the recordings will be up very, very soon. Also, share your thoughts about today's Nest Level sessions and tag us in LinkedIn with the hashtag NestLevel2022. Have a great day, everyone, and see you in the next session. Bye. Thanks,
Thank you.
Christoph.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.